Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to study about the acute rheumatic fever. If you see, this is a very common anomaly that is usually seen in cases of small children. So, acute rheumatic fever, which is also said as ARF, is a multisystemic disorder. That means it is going to involve more than one system of your body, which follows the pharyngeal streptococcal infection. So, the name itself is telling you this is a disease that is going to be multisystemic and 1 minute. This is a multisystemic condition and is caused mainly by the streptococcal group A species. Fine. This is what the acute rheumatic fever is about. Moving ahead to the pathogenesis of what exactly happens. So let me first tell you that our heart, our cardium region has got three layers, that is the myocardium, endocardium and the pericardium. Okay, you can see it respectively. This is the myocardium, this innermost layer is the endocardium, and next we have is the pericardium. Fine. So moving ahead, affects mainly children, as I told you, aging between 5 to 15 years of age. Streptococcal species have a cross reactivity with the cardiac tissue that leads to inflammatory reaction. So the group A streptococcal species, they are going to react with the layers of your heart or the layers of your cardiac tissue that mainly leads to inflammatory reaction, and this inflammatory reaction leads to ARF, that is the acute rheumatic fever. Moving ahead, what are the major signs and symptoms? The major signs and symptoms can be polyarthritis, carditis, chorea, sore throat and some subcutaneous nodules. Minor problems like fever, lethargy, anorexia, raised ESR, prolonged PR interval and some others. Okay, so basically fever, lethargy, these are some of the common and the minor problems that can be seen. Fine. Together we can say this to be the Jones criteria. In this criteria, we have a number of major and minor disorders. Okay. Moving ahead to the first one, that is sore throat. So this is very common, right? We all know what sore throat is. Mainly 2/3 of the people are going to remember if they had any respiratory problem or not. So not everyone. Now when the patient will come to you and if you ask that did you had any breathing or a respiratory problem, only 2/3 people are going to remember if they had or not, because sometimes it is very minor. Okay. Sore throat can be painful, there can be difficulty in swallowing which can be seen, and you can see in the picture this is how it looks like. There is swelling, there is excessive erythema and also some white mucus patches can be seen in case of ARF. Moving to carditis. Now carditis is basically a feature that usually develops in 50 to 60% of the cases within 3 weeks of the infection. Now what are the symptoms we are going to see? The chest pain, palpitation, breathlessness, tachycardia. You can also say heaviness on the chest can be there, and there can be dizziness which can be there. Excessive painful breathing can be there. Fine. The dropping of SpO2 level can also be seen. The SpO2 level sometimes drops off. So these are some of the features that can be seen in the case of carditis. Moving ahead to polyarthritis. Now what does the mean? Poly means something that is more than one. Okay, so poly means more than one. Arthritis, inflammation of the joints is arthritis. So 75% of the cases are going to have polyarthritis. That means it is one of the major feature, right? It is very painful condition because arthritis is painful joints. So obviously there is going to be a lot of pain which is seen. Also redness and swelling can be seen in the joints. Make this in your mind very clear that only the large joints are seen to be affected here more than the small joints of your body, like your pelvic joint, shoulder joint. These are your large joints. So majorly the large joints are involved here. Now if you see in the picture, these joints, the shoulder joint, pelvic joint, knee joint, ankle joint, wrist joint, these are few of the joints that can be affected. And what does the name, as I told you, poly means that at a time more than one joint is inflamed in the body. Now coming to chorea. Chorea is basically usually appears after a long period of 6 months. So for example, the person has completely recovered from the acute rheumatic fever, the ARF, okay, and what will you see that after 6 months of recovery, there is this very flunging, dancing, irregular movements of the extremities that is happening, and that is said as chorea. Now again, it is not seen in every case, but in major cases it can be seen. Like after the period of 5 to 6 months, this feature can be seen after recovery, and that is the feature is that there will be flunging and dancing, irregular movements of the extremities. It is going to involve the CNS, that is the central nervous system, and the brain will lead to certain release of complexes which will lead to this plunging, dancing, irregular movements. Now coming to the subcutaneous nodules. If I talk about the subcutaneous nodules, you know what nodules look like. These are some elevations, small elevation. This is what nodules look like. They can be in the back region, knee region, front facial region. Can involve any part of the brain which is covered, any part of the body which is covered with skin, and usually is not common in India. So in common we do not usually see the subcutaneous nodules, but it is again a very common feature and a very major feature which can be seen out of India. Next is this erythema marginatum. Now erythema marginatum is these ring kind of red structures which you can see on the skin. Now this is again a major feature which can be seen but not very common in the India. Coming to the investigations, what are the investigations we can keep in mind? Raised ESR level, CRP level will be increased, the ESR level will be increased. The increased ESR level is basically going to indicate inflammation into the body. So whenever the ESR level of any person is raised, that means there is some kind of inflammation or infection that is going on in the body. Next thing, the throat swab culture is going to be positive. Then the major test is this ASO tire test. If the level in the ASO tire test is more than 200 units, then it is positive for adults, and for children the level is 300 units. Now anti-streptozyme test is also done, in which 200 units above is considered to be a positive test for ARF. Another test that can be done is ECG, that is going to show sinus tachycardia. And chest radiograph and echocardiography can be done, which is going to show you increased size of the heart. Coming to the treatment is very easy. Firstly, and the very important thing, give bed rest to the patient for good 3 to 6 weeks. Why we give such a huge bed rest? Because polyarthritis and chorea and high fever, all these things are kind of challenging and a painful condition, so the patient need to rest as much as he can. Next is the anti-streptococcal therapy. Now anti-streptococcal therapy, streptococcal organisms are basically bacteria, and so we have to give antibiotics, penicillins or cephalosporins. These are some of the antibiotics which can be given to the patient, and a therapy of about 1 week, 5 days to 7 days anti-streptococcal therapy is carried on the patient. Now salicylates can be given to the patient if there is any kind of high raised temperature, and corticosteroids can be given, which usually corticosteroids have a major function of decreasing the inflammation. Okay, so they basically decrease inflammation into the body. So corticosteroids can be given. So the 3 drugs to be given is anti-streptococcal antibiotics, salicylates, and corticosteroids. So this was all about acute rheumatic fever, everything related to the definition, to the pathogenesis, features, and treatment. I hope that the topic is very much clear to you. Please share this with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know your reviews in the comment section. Thank you.